All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody's doing well today on this beautiful Wednesday. As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper, let's take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. We will make sure we start our day off by taking massive action, and that action stands for accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for the outcome, centering yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trusting your education, strategy, trade skills, and intuition. Imagine your trade successfully materializing, obeying your trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. So let's get down to business. Not a ton happened overnight. There are some things that we want to take note of. We'll discuss those over on trading economics and some from Bloomberg. And then we'll look at the calendar and then we'll dive into the charts. All right. So if everybody can hear me okay, drop me one in the chat and we'll get rocking. All right. All right. Cool deal. Give me 1 second. All right, let's do this. All right, so there we go. All right. German consumer morale expectedly falls. Germany's GfK consumer climate indicator dropped to 24.7 headed into March, from a marginally revised 22.6 in the previous period. And missed a forecast of 21.4. This was the lowest reading since April, with income expectations hitting a 13-month low and the willingness to buy deteriorating further. So you see, we got some income concerns out of the Eurozone, right? Meanwhile, propensity to save has increased, so people aren't spending as much money in the Eurozone trying to save their pennies. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. Um, Overall, European stock market, stocks 50 rose 0.6, stock 600 gained 0.5 on Wednesday, rebounding from a lackluster session the previous day. Investors are focused on corporate earnings and monitoring a minerals deal between Ukraine and the U.S. Amid I'm sorry, aimed at developing Ukraine's natural resources, an agreement that could help ease recent tension between the two countries. Right? Donald Trump has had some choice words for uh, Ukrainian leadership and Ukraine overall. So we'll see how things go there. Mining companies led to the gains, supported by a rise in copper prices after U.S. President Donald Trump signaled potential import tariffs on the metal. Um, that'll be interesting. The food and beverage sector also advanced on the earnings front. Anheuser-Busch in beverage surged 7% after reporting a stronger than expected opening operating profit. Munich Re real estate probably jumped more than 4.5% after exceeding its profit target and proposing a dividend increase, right? While E.ON gained approximately 2.7% following an upward revision from its 2024 to 2028 investment program to 43 billion, right? On the other hand, uh, Deutsche Telekom was amid the worst performers, losing 3.8%. All right, so that's from the Euro area. Um, Here's that copper. Copper futures surged 4%, approaching 4.7 per pound on Wednesday, hitting its highest levels in nearly 2 weeks after President Donald Trump ordered an investigation into potential tariffs on copper imports, amid revitalizing U.S. production of the metal. All right, this pro-U.S. push. Um, the move is viewed as part of Trump's strategy to counter China's ambitions to dominate the global copper market, with the metal being essential for manufacturing electronic vehicles, military equipment, and various consumer goods. The U.S. imports roughly 45% of its copper needs. Analysts also anticipate further upside pressure for copper prices, driven by robust demand and electrification, while supply growth will likely be constrained by years of underinvestment in the mining capacity. Meanwhile, copper supply in China remains abundant, with stocks rising over 260,000 tons, 3 times the level at the start of the year, right? While bonded stocks have doubled to 33,000 tons. So this is going to be an interesting situation to watch here, right? Clearly, we have a trade war that's happening, right? Um, and clearly between U.S. and China and other countries, but China is the biggest target of the majority of this, what's happening here. So this is going to be interesting to see how this develops, and how his push against China continues to evolve. French consumer morale improves, also in the Eurozone there. Um, from the market perspective, things to look out for. We got Lowe's companies earnings expected today. Um, oh, I'm sorry, they released their earnings. 193 per share compared to market expectation of 181. So that's above expectation there. So positive, potential positive for Lowe's. Um, Stellantis released its earnings per share and it's down 2 cents per year, 2 euros, compared to the market expectation of 41 euros. So Stellantis will see some negative action there. Quite a few earnings came out recently, more out of the Euro area, Germany, Russia, that kind of deal. So keep your eyes peeled there on the earnings front. Over to, before we go there, China. China to inject at least 55 billion of fresh capital into several big banks. Um, this is the start of their implementation of their stimulus package that they unveiled last year, right? They're about to start rolling that out. So as as they start doing that, look for some of those Chinese ETFs that we've been looking at MCHI to continue making their move to the upside, right? So that's positive there. As they start to roll out that stimulus, we'll see what that full rollout looks like. I'll drop this link in the chat for everyone to read in your own time. But good article there, good insight on that stimulus package. So keep your eyes peeled on some of those things coming out of China. Yesterday we had just consumer confidence came in below expectation. Um, CPI out of Australia came in a bit below expectation as well. Then we have today new home sales, crude oil inventories, and G20 meetings kick off. All right, so we'll keep our eyes on what's happening there. Early this morning, Bank of Japan core CPI came in above expectation. Right, I mentioned that yesterday that number could come in higher than the forecast, as things do continue to evolve in Japan. Right, the CPI is starting to creep up, which they've noted in their report. So we'll continue to watch how that impacts things overall. Still think that they are in line to sit still until the third quarter, right? It still looks like that will be the case. So we'll continue to watch things out of Japan. But that's really it for today. We got simple central bank speakers later on today as well, 11:30, 12 o'clock. But yeah, so not a ton happening today. We'll watch the developments here and what comes out of those G20 meetings. All right. Any questions from a fundamental perspective?
No.
No, no questions. All right. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, doing pretty good. Good morning, everybody.
Awesome, awesome. What's top of mind for you this morning, man?
Oh man, that's it, man. That you covered it all. That China situation, man. You remember we talked about that last year,
Yeah, yeah.
and how it was projected. So to get into some of those positions, right, early, like we did, right, investing, in some of those positions, like you say, those emerging markets, looking at the companies in China to invest in is huge because they said it was going to come, and it looks like that's exactly what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening, bro. Exactly what's happening.
Yep. So other than that, that's it, man. You covered it all. I was excited to see that article.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I definitely was too, man. I'm interested to see what the rest of the package looks like as they roll it out.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Cool deal, man. Appreciate you. All right, good people. Let's dive into some charts. If you have any that you want me to take a look at, we'll start out that way this today. If you have any pairs you want me to take a look at up front, drop those into the chat, and I'll take a look at those on the front end. But starting off with the dollar, and things have been just really moving sideways, right? A little bit of a tick down, but overall, right, we're still just ranging. We talked about potentially pushing a little bit lower yesterday, getting to that 105.4 411 level, slowly creeping there, but we're just stuck in consolidation right now, trying to figure things out and see where things will ultimately land. So just some back and forth happening right now in the market, right? Um, Still holding this level, hasn't really broken below. So just pressing sideways right now, got that wick down at that 118 level. So still sitting in that zone on the DXY. Okay. Um, so not a ton doing there throughout the day yesterday. So that's where we are on the DXY. Jeremy said dollar CAD. Let's take a look at it. That's on your daily, right? Came down just shy of the 618 level. Beautiful U-turn right off the 80-20. Just missed the D extension, pushed down, 50% retracement, and we're pushing back to the upside. You got a trend line break on the daily time frame, headed north. Stochastic is pushing back into that sell zone. So we'll look for a pullback and a continuation to the upside here. All right. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Yep. So that one right off the top headed to the upside. Beautiful reversal there. Headed long. Spin down to the 4. Take these out. And we'll run this off the top. There's your 80-20 play. Boom. Take off. Nice cloud break there on the 4, right? So stochastic in the sell zone, stochastic approaching that sell zone on the daily time frame. So look for pullbacks and continuations here, moving through that 80-20 zone back toward that target of the 382. Right. I believe Benny mentioned this a couple weeks ago. This price has been sitting down in that zone. But we're on the move, right? We're on the move. Got a nice cloud break confirmation there. TK twist. I'm sorry. TK crossed over in the twist of the cloud there, right? Kumo twist. Is that what I'm saying it right?
Yep, there it is, man.
Boom.
It hung in there. It didn't hit that extension, did it?
Did not. Just missed it. Just missed it. So now just looking for those pullbacks and continuations to the upside. So we will monitor this one long. Uh, there are your smaller waves there, headed to the D extension on the smaller wave to the upside, and then we'll look for a pullback and continuation long. Okay. Come down to the one, might get a better view. Boom, there you go. There's that consolidation. There's your overall 80-20 on the 1 hour as well, right? Boom, beautiful move. Now, right, we might get an 80-20 on these sub fibs as we push up to that 4 hour D extension, but then looking for that pullback into the sweet spot. Might come back down closer to that A boundary, retesting that resistance here in the zone. And then look for that continuation long. Okay. But upside on the dollar CAD, right? The DXY hasn't shifted, but this one is on the move. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for there on the dollar CAD. Questions?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So that's the dollar CAD. Speaking of, we talked about oil yesterday and the potential for it to push down a bit further. And that's what we got, right? We ended up breaking that $70 level. We're headed to the downside, sitting at 68.91 right now. Don't be surprised if we get to 66.12. Okay, as the stochastic starts to push back down into that buy zone, right? But what I'll be looking for now on this daily time frame is an 80-20 here. Okay, we're looking for the 80-20. See if we get a swing low to form somewhere in that 66.12 range, and then I'll look for a reversal out of that. Okay, so that's on the daily time frame, potential 80-20 there. Coming down to the 4, right? We hit that D extension, and we got a fresh AB boundary, right? So here on the 4, we get that last leg down into that 118, 127 zone, set us up beautifully for that reversal there and an 80-20 on the 4 hour as well as the daily. Okay, so we'll look to see if that plays out for us in that way. Okay, but that's what I'm looking to see, right? Give a nice low price here. I'd love it to add to the positions. Okay, so we'll watch that from a daily and a 4 hour perspective. Then down on the one, just headed to that D extension as we talked about, right? 67.88 is a D extension there, which puts us right into that 118, 127 zone on that daily and on that 4 hour. Okay, so that's oil headed to the downside. But it makes sense, right? Fundamentally, you got things potentially cooling off in Russia, with Russia and Ukraine. U.S. trying to make some deals with Ukraine on the mining side. So you got some things happening there that's easing some of that geopolitical tension outside of the things that are happening with China. So things easing up a bit, right? So it makes sense for this to be moving to the downside. So we'll continue to watch and monitor the developments there on oil. Okay, we got any questions on oil or any other thoughts, any other research from the team? Nope.
No.
All right, cool deal. Over on the natural gas front, clean this up some. We talked about that fresh AB boundary and looking for price to continue its move ultimately to the downside, right? We got a pullback yesterday. And stochastic is starting to move out of that sell zone. Okay. Um, so definitely looking for this next leg down to happen. Okay. Um, we'll continue to monitor things, but still in that same mindset of looking for that retracement there. Okay. Come down to the 4. And there was that pullback. I think Donette mentioned pullback here, right? Came back to a 50% level, and ultimately looking for that D extension to be achieved, 356, right? And that'll set us up for the next ride to the upside. Okay. Down on the one, there's your 80-20. This is the 80-20 that Donette mentioned yesterday. Came back beautifully to that 382 level. Okay. Now let's see if we turn back over and make that push to the downside. Okay. So that 80-20 on that sub played out beautifully. Okay. Now sit and wait for low price to get back long for those that are holding this this investment to the upside over the long term. So that's where we are on natural gas. Take a look at this pound NZD. I'm still sitting in this one. Overall, still looking for this to continue moving to the upside. Right, been bouncing around a bit, caught in consolidation here. Okay, we had sub fib AB boundary, trying to get that reversal to happen. Oops. So been struggling as of late, right, in this consolidation, but we'll see. We got a 618 retracement here on the sub fib. We'll go down to the 4 and see what that looks like, but see if we get price to turn over here, break that B boundary, and continue this move to the upside, and see if we're able to finally break above that 224 level here. Okay. So trying to get some more legs and get moving there. Coming down to the 4, right? We got a 50% retracement, seeing that sub fib there a little bit more clearly. Beautiful 80-20 play back to the downside, right? Gave us almost a double bottom there. And now we're trying to turn over. We're making those higher lows, right? So now can we make a higher high and really break that level and continue making that move to the upside? Okay. Right. You see that trend line there, just like that. Okay. So we can break this high here at 222. Might get that opportunity to break, readjust, and continue moving to the upside. Okay. So I don't know if anybody's still sitting in that one. I'm still holding my position. Looking for that one ultimately to make it to that daily target of 232, 839. All right, that's the daily target there, and that's what I'm looking for price to get to at some point. Okay. So as you come down to the 1 here, right, there's that back and forth. So fibs got taken out both directions. Okay. So hopefully we can start this ride. There we go. Maybe not. We'll see if this 80-20 plays out and we get another pullback into the zone. So we'll watch that 80-20 on the 1 hour set up here on the sub fib on the pound NZD. Jeremy's holding it too. Beautiful. Great work. Great work. That's some sevens for Jeremy. So let's see what happens here, right? Do we get another pullback into the zone? Before we continue moving along. Okay, so let's watch and see here how this one plays out. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that one moves. Okay, but that's the pound NZD. Looking for that long-term continuation to the upside. Okay, questions? Nope. Okay,
No.
cool deal. It's Euro CAD. I was sitting in a short-term buy on this one. That closed out. I should have held it longer based on the 4 hour, but I had a different take profit level set on this one. But right, we bounced off this low level at 147, right, and we're making our way back to the upside. Okay, making our way back to the upside. Overall, this is the capital fib, this range that we've been in for quite some time, right? So ultimately, I think we're headed back to the top of the range here, and then we'll see what happens when we get there. Okay. Do we finally break that level and continue moving to the D extension, or do we come back down? Okay. So watching to see how this one evolves. But you come down to the 4, right? Benny broke this one down last week, I believe, right? 786, 47, 410. Yeah, so a 786 retracement, and we're on the move to the upside, matching the extension at the top of that range, right? So it makes sense. Okay. So this one is headed north. Okay. Headed north, back to the top of the range. And then once we get there, we'll take a look at the fib sequence and see what's happening there. Also, fundamentally, if there's anything that stands out on either side, the euro or the CAD, to give further insight on potential direction here. Okay, so we'll monitor that as it goes. So as we come down to the 1 here, there's the ABCD wave sequence. Okay, so we'll look for pullbacks and continuations on this, right? Not sure if we're getting an 80-20 play on this one back down to the downside, but we'll look for a pullback of some sort and then look for another leg to the upside. Get us to that D extension there on the 1 and on the 4. Okay, so watch for the pullback here. Might be an opportunity, short-term opportunity to play this back to the top of the range. Um, I ended up taking my profit here at the D extension here. I was playing this 80-20 reversal to the upside. I've been sitting in it since the beginning of the month. So, but yeah, so now pullbacks and continuations to the upside. Okay. Questions on the Euro CAD? Is anybody in this long off that 4 hour?
I'm not.
Nope. No.
No.
All right. Cool deal. Cool deal. We'll continue to watch that one and see how it evolves. Okay. Um, Pound CAD pushing long, pushing long. Okay. Daily time frame has been trying to figure it out, but it's also range bound, right? Bottom, top, right in the middle. Now we're headed back to the top. Okay. These levels need to be reset. That one gone. All right. So now, stochastic in the sell zone. Do we get a push back down to the bottom of the range? Okay. So we'll watch and see what happens here at 181. But do we get a pullback here? Okay. Strong move to the upside, right? Weakness in the Canadian dollar. So as we come down to the 4, there was that ABCD wave sequence. 8-6 retracement off the 80-20. Beautiful scenario. 80-20, 8-6 retracement, D extension. There's your ABCD wave. All right. So now we hit the D extension. We'll look for a new AB boundary. We'll look for a new AB boundary and a retracement. Okay. So we'll sit and wait for the fib to pop in on this one. But it should look like that once it pops in. Okay, 2 candles to the right. Now we're pushing to the upside. Maybe this turns into an 80-20 here. Giving us that reversal back down. Similar to how it did in that previous fib sequence. So we'll watch this and see if we get that set up. Okay, so keep your eyes on that one for a potential 80-20 play back down to the downside. Okay, come down to the 1. Boom. there's that potential sequence there that we might get on the 4 hour as well. Okay. So we'll watch this and see how this evolves and look for that action there. Okay. Questions on the pound CAD? All right, cool deal. Hold on 1 minute, everybody, okay? 1 minute. My bad, everybody. So this we're on the pound CAD. Okay. Let's quick peek at the Aussie CAD. Getting a retracement happening right now, right? But overall, we've been making ABCD waves to the upside, right? So sub fib here, 618 retracement, making our way to the upside. Looking for this one to continue long, right? Just maybe a pullback coming before we continue that move to the upside there. But overall, looking for that larger continuation here on that move long on the Aussie CAD. Okay. Coming down to the 4. We're making our way to the upside. We're at that 618 retracement level. Stochastic is in the sell zone. So that could give us this pullback here and set us up for a nice retracement and a continuation long, right? Still not bullish on the Canadian dollar. So looking for these pairs to continue that move to the upside. Okay. So looking for a retracement here and a continuation long. Come down to your 1. You got a 50% retracement on that move down. It's just another pullback here. Might set us up for a little crown type action. It's messy, but something like that. Okay. So watch for that action there as we get to a low price here. Retesting that cloud. And then see if we get that move back to the upside. Okay. So that's the Aussie CAD. Looking forward ultimately to continue moving to the upside. Okay. Questions here? No, no.
No.
All right. All right. We'll look at Is Adobe back in here? Nope, still not in here. Oh, there it goes. ADBE. Making that move back to the upside, right? This one has been taking its time. We watched it for a while on this move to the downside, right? This is that Adobe stock. Continued moving down below where we expected, but pushed right into a 118 and 127 zone. Boom. Right? We got a reversal. Now we're looking at a potential crown pattern forming here. Okay. All right. Come down, finish closing that gap there. And then a move to the upside. So this one's starting making that reversal now. Okay. So as that stochastic gets back down into that buy zone, see if we can settle in right around this 430 level, right? And look for some buying opportunities here if you're not still sitting in this. And I don't know if anybody is or not. Um,
It's about time.
Man, right? Took forever. Um, Took forever, but right. Benny talked about a long time ago, and we were just early in it, right? But finally trying to make that reversal. And so we got some decent upside potential to this. On my larger fib one. But got some decent upside potential to this. I still think it gets, I think we're looking at around the 700 range. I still think we get there. Still think we get there. Let's go back to the weekly. Thought I had a larger fib on this somewhere. No, maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. But that's where we are right now, coming out of that 80-20 zone, from a daily time frame perspective. Okay. Here. This might have been what I was looking at here. There. Right. So it came down to that 618 retracement on the monthly time frame, right? The stochastic been playing around in this buy zone here, right? Got some indecision from a higher time frame perspective, right? But if we do settle in there and things start to align from a long-term perspective, right? 700, 800 range is where we could get to over time, right? So watching this one for this reversal, right? On the monthly time frame, push down to that 618 level. All right. So can we get this reversal and price start to make those swing lows and move back to the upside? Okay. So coming back to the 4 hour on this, right? There's that 80-20 there. Boom. Beautiful reversal. Now look for price to settle in and give us that right tip and a movement to the upside. Under the 50 on the 4 hour. Was that on this one, Joy?
Yeah,
Okay. So still sitting under the 50.
it's sitting, actually, price is on it. So it's
Oh,
like
on
on
it.
the 50, sitting on top of the cloud.
Okay. Okay. So let's see if let's see where it moves. Let's see where it moves. Okay. See if we get a bounce and a push to the upside. All right. So that's on your 4. Down in your 1, you had, right? We had confluence on all 3 levels. Daily 4 hour, 1 hour. Boom. Beautiful move. Pullback. Again, let's see if we can close this gap. One more leg down here. Create that right tip down in this range. And then see if we get price to bounce and move to the upside. Okay. But Adobe is trying to get some legs, trying to get some legs. So been waiting on it, but I think we're we're getting ready to make the next move to the upside. Okay. Questions on Adobe? Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Cool deal. NVIDIA. All things going on with the chip conversations and the back and forth there. NVIDIA ultimately is still doing its thing, right? Still doing this thing. Caught in this range, but we got a nice gap down to the 618 retracement level, which we're looking for. Got a beautiful move back to the upside, right? Stochastic pushing out of this sell zone now, so we're getting this retracement. Okay. Which makes sense. Makes sense. We'll go to the lower time frame. We'll run a fib off this low level, right? To see what that looks like. But makes sense. Retracement, close on these gaps, right? Give us a low price to then continue moving to the upside. Okay. Overall on this one, right, with that 618 retracement, matching the extension is 163. Wall Street's target, I believe it's this year, is 172, with some higher levels over the long term. Okay. So tons of upside opportunity on NVIDIA. Okay. So we'll continue monitoring as it continues to evolve and as they continue to do their work in the chip space and in the AI space. Okay, so there you are on your 4, right? That was also a 618 retracement. Okay, pushed up, daily resistance, pullback. That stochastic is in the buy zone. There's your sub fib 8020. Boom. Right? It's beautiful how it all goes together. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Okay. So beautiful 8020. Look for a 618 retracement, potentially down at that 786 level. Maybe retesting this zone again. And then it move back to the upside. So coming down to your 1, you're taking out your fibs, going to the upside. And so we'll track them down. The extension there to make sense in line from our higher time frame, looking for those reversals. Look for that low price to get back long. Okay. Or add to the trade. Right. This is another one that I've been sitting in for a while. And when I get low prices, I just add to the trade. Right. So I'm looking for a low price here to add to my position. Okay. Building those positions over time put us in a great position come the end of the year. So that's what I'm looking for there, right? Coming back to this 120, 120, 122, 123 area. Questions on NVIDIA?
Nope.
All right. All right. Looked at oil, looked at natural gas. Don't think any of, no. None of my ETFs are in here and I don't have trading view set up on those. We can take a look at them though. Let's see. Um, MCHI.
Ryan,
Yes, sir.
do you have any update on the ETFs on Smart Trader?
I do not. I'm gonna send another email today to see what they say.
Okay.
impatiently waiting as well to see if they're able to get this thing fixed. It's definitely causing concerns. Definitely causing concerns. But no, not at the moment, man. I'll let you know on my follow up with them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So from a daily time frame, we watch this retracement happen, right? Pretty fragmented, right? Tons of gaps happening there, but we watched this retracement happen. Okay. It gave us a low price. I thought it might push a little lower into this $41 range, but it didn't, right? We got a nice reversal here and it's moved back to the upside. Okay. Now we're looking like we might create a swing high here on the daily time frame. This closes lower. Now stochastic coming out of that sell zone, so it makes sense for a retracement to happen. But we create a swing high there. Right? Create a swing high, see if we get a low price. Okay. We were looking at this from multiple perspectives, but if we, I think I have that fib set up on this. Oh, that's not what I want. Blah, 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 blah. Right? If we track this on our fibs to the upside, okay. The extension achieved. If that gives us our swing high, that'll be our AB boundary. Boom. Okay. So starting to accelerate here, right? So we'll look for potentially low price, right? We'll see if price comes back down to this $50 range. Don't know that it will with the announcement of this morning of that stimulus. We'll see what happens. This might turn over and accelerate to the upside. So we'll watch and see if we get a pullback or if price just continues to run long here. I wouldn't be mad at a retracement back down to this $50 range, right? Maybe even 49. Okay. Give us another nice low price. So we'll watch price as it evolves and as this stochastic continues to press down, and see if we are able to get that low price and set us up nicely for another reversal like that. Okay. So let's see what happens. Let's see how this evolves, see what the market has to say about the stimulus package being released, timing, and if that aligns for us. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at on MCHI. Okay. Questions here?
Nope.
No,
Cool deal. Overall, I'm looking at this one getting back to, getting to, I believe it's around 75. Yeah, around $73 is what I'm looking at. High price on in the short term. Okay. In the longer term, looking at getting back to these highs, $96, $97. Okay. So definitely watching this one as it evolves, as things evolve in China. I do think over the long term, we do see prices get back to these high points. So again, continue to build positions on these assets, and looking at things from a long-term perspective. So, Benny, You got anything else, bro? Any other things you got your eyes on?
No, sir, not at this time.
All right, team. Any questions before we wrap things up? That's all I got.
No, from me.
All right, cool deal. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Give you guys an early note here. Next Monday, we won't have Mindset Monday. I'll be traveling. But we'll get a notice out. But just giving a heads up there, because I'll be leaving out tomorrow. So we're back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-next session with my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. You guys have a phenomenal, phenomenal Wednesday. Peace.